Because I certainly do love it out here. I mean, I came myself the first time because I love the moose. But I keep coming back and I live here year round now because I just enjoy all of the park has to offer. And so after my first summer season of working here in Denali, when I fell in love with the place, I had to go back and try to find some work in New Hampshire. All I could do was think about this place. And I worked hard and made plans because I needed to come back out here. So one day during the middle of that winter, I was thinking about everything that I loved and enjoyed, and these words and phrases kept going over and over in my head. So if I think about them, I came up with the beginnings of this poem, which was crazy for me because I do not write poetry, but this simple little poem just kind of came to me. I thought about it, tweaked a little bit, wrote it down, and then when I was lucky to come up the following year, I was able to finish it. And so if nobody objects, I'd like to share my simple little poem with you all right now. Oh, thank you. I was going to leave a break in case somebody wanted to shout out a no, but I heard the opposite, so thanks. And I'll continue now, so here goes. Denali has got a hold on me, something I thought I'd never find. It's more than my job or a place to live, it's in my heart and in my mind. Whenever I come around here, I always want to stay, to live out my life in this great and peaceful way, to cross the braided rivers and hills that go on, or play throughout the willow bushes all day long. Now, even though at times elsewhere I belong, I know the memories I hold will still be strong. Moose tracks, taiga, and even the lovely scat will still be around when I make my way back. Without other people to preserve this land, who knows? It might be completely different where I stand. So for now, the thing I must say is that this park has touched my life in the biggest and best way. The end.
Yeah.
Thank you. You don't need to clap though. Thanks so much. But yeah, I'd like to share a little poem after we've gone to experience a little bit of the park because it brings me to the last thing I want to talk about. So throughout the trip, I've been trying to explain about how everything, things big and small, living, non-living, research are important puzzle pieces. But as we're nearing the end, the last and maybe the most important thing for Denali National Park. So the biggest piece of this puzzle that kind of holds it and puts it all together, keeps it from falling apart, is all of you. So all the visitors, all the people are extremely important for this place. Because if no one ever came out here, no one would have a chance to see the wilderness, look for wildlife, breathe the fresh air, and people might wonder what's so unique or special about that land. Why do we have it set aside as a park? So like I said in my poem, and I hope that it happens to all of you, that all the memories that you got from this trip. So maybe it's this weather we've had today. Some breaks, the sun's trying to come out, some dry times, a little bit of sprinkles earlier on. I thought it was going to rain all day, but it's been pretty nice so far. Lots of flowers and greenery down here. We had all the wildlife that we got to see today. So it started right in the beginning of the highway. We had that moose on the road, then she kind of disappeared through the brush. Then after that, we had two moose that were kind of in and out of the trees out there. We had the caribou, so someone spotted our first caribou kind of going up this hillside by himself. And then eventually just lay down and was chewing his cud. After that, we had the four caribou that were kind of near the top of Sable Pass, one with just really impressive antlers, and then they were kind of in that area, still laying down, some of them, when we came on back. We also had another kind of single caribou off by himself, kind of feeding down out there in the tundra. We had our doll sheep. So our first sheep were those ewes with a couple little lambs, a month old or so. They were just kind of jumping and playing around with each other. Then we had that other group of sheep, might have been a bachelor group, where a couple of those adults were kind of hustling around and playing with each other up there. We had our grizzly bear that we got to see walking across some of those open gravel patches, and then it just was spending all that time digging and moving all that dirt, and then finally able to eat something, and then it was asleep when we saw it afterwards. We had the raven shakes. There was a brief sighting of a ptarmigan, and the short-billed gulls and ground squirrels. Anything that you have a memory of from being out on the trip, I do hope that your memories last with you for a long time. And that way when you head home, you could share your memories, stories, pictures in your tour books with all your friends and family and tell them about this place called Denali. Now, one of my favorite quotes is from a book by Dr. Seuss called The Lorax, but I think it fits in really well here. The quote goes, "And unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not." And so you've all started the process just by caring enough to travel up here to Alaska, get up early today, to get on the bus into the park and see what it's all about. And if people continue to come out here and do this, it'll show the world this is a unique spot with a lot of value. Be protected like this for a long time to come. So if you have the chance to come back, if some of our younger passengers come back in the future with their own children, or if you can't, we can rest assured knowing this is still a wilderness controlled by nature where the bears and the moose can run wild. So maybe to think about it just this way, but just by caring enough about the place to support the park and come out here and on the trip and hopefully enjoy yourselves, we're allowing it to stay wild and pristine for all those future generations, which is kind of the most important thing of all.
I completely agree. Words of
Well, you know,
wisdom.
how long has my company been doing these tours? So my company
Words
is
of
called
wisdom
Doyon Aramart.
from Denali
Doyon is a
National
native
Park.
Alaska